I often pride myself on often talking up really obscure and very underrated Nintendo games. It's part of the reason I started Nintendo Classics, in which I would talk at length about a wide variety of different games across a wide variety of Nintendo consoles that a lot of modern gamers may never have even heard of, right? I am in the process of going through a lot of the more mainstream ones, but I am planning in the future of talking about some of my favorite RPGs, some of my favorite cult classics, stuff like Killer 7, things like that. And but even someone like me, who is very extremely well versed in video games, in Nintendo, does occasionally not not remember everything. I was very surprised when I saw a tweet the other day talking about how cool it would be if you could design your own every character in an RPG, right? You know how like in every RPG now you have the ability to like customize your character and make them like your avatar and then send them out on adventures. The idea was that like, well, why couldn't you just do that for every character in the game? Why couldn't you design every single character? Why couldn't you design the villain? Why couldn't you design like villagers? Why NPCs? Why couldn't you like design key important characters? And it really dawned on me in that post. It was one of those examples where Nintendo already did that, and as a result, I ended up going back to Miitopia and playing it again, going through like a lot of the post game content. Not all of it, like I stopped at the tower, but a lot of the post game content, and it really dawned on me that like, wow, this is an underrated gem. I don't see enough people talking about this. So it's been a couple of years since this came out. This is a 3DS game, I believe, developed, produced by Nintendo. I believe Sakamoto, the Tamagotchi Life team. Miitopia, the epic face-off between good and evil. A RPG game from Nintendo in the style of Dragon Quest with me characters. Now, when I say me characters, what do I mean by that? Like, how exactly does this work? Well, it's like I said in the beginning, right? Me characters means that you can design every single character in the game, right? You can design your protagonists. You can design the princes you meet, the important NPCs, the fab fairies, the great sage who mentors you on your journey, the villainous dark lord, the villainous dark lord. um, there's a huge amount of customability here. Like it really is a game that seems to be tailor made to people who want to personalize a fantasy adventure for themselves, right? So when it came to my original party, I believe I designed an NPC based on me. A party comprised of Samus Aran, Brock from Pokemon, and Harry Potter, and we went out we went out on adventures, meeting like all of these people, right? It's a very simple RPG. Like I said, it plays in the vein of Dragon Quest, but it's a lot more streamlined. Auto battle is a thing. Actually, I think I got through the entire thing using auto battle. Auto battle is a thing, but your characters will get stronger. They will get new items. You will acquire gold, EXP. You will get into a lot of different fights with a lot of different kind of ridiculous enemy designs. Lots of things are in this game. It's very quirky, very. I don't want to say Earthboundish. If you played Tamagotchi Life, you kind of understand. Like it's a lot like that, but with like a Dragon Quest combat system attached to it. So it's an RPG, Tamagotchi Life, the RPG. It's an expanded version of that. Essentially, and it does kind of suffer from the Tamagotchi Life problems, which is probably one of the big reasons why I kind of overlooked it when I'm talking about great 3DS games for a really long time, because Tamagotchi Life, I love that game, right? But boy, is it repetitive. Boy, do they do the same things over and over and over again. And some people really like that in spite of that, but me personally, I couldn't stick with the game. Like, Animal Crossing feels way more different with each day. Tomodachi Life needs to really figure out a way to make its content more lasting. Like it just felt too repetitive in a lot of ways. New Miitopia, though, I think actually does a better job of making it feel of having content, you know what I mean? You do go down like set paths. It's sort of like you sort of choose a level and your characters sort of walk down it and they randomly get into fights, and if they win all of them, they get to move on to the next level. It's pretty basic, and it's a big reason why I wasn't sure how much I liked this game for a long time. But the game does get harder, right? The game does have a lot of times you will die a lot. There is like some methodology to what you need to do with like hiding people in your safe spot or healing them or whatever. Like it seems like an even more simplified version of Dragon Quest, which already is pretty simple and straightforward. But this seems to be like tailor-made to people who have never really played a game like this before, right? Like people who want to design. Like again, the core gimmick of designing characters in an RPG, as far as I know, has never really been done in this fashion before. So in a lot of ways, that's kind of its core appeal. Like a lot like Tomodachi Life, it's so unique and so different from everything else that's out there. It's really, really hard to overlook the technical flaws. Like I was surprised with how I finally got around to doing the post game content. Like how much I was enjoying it. Like I was having it run and grinding when like I was working on my novel. I was doing all this stuff. Like I was when I finally beat the super final boss, the Dark Sun. It was like an actual really satisfying challenge that I overcame. It was a really legitimately hard, difficult boss, and it's kind of hard to think that like a game like this could offer a challenge like that. It does feel like an entry level JRPG in that way. It's probably something a kid would really get into. Now that I've played it again, now that I've gotten into this, now that I've experienced it once more, I would recommend it. Like I would push for a sequel. Like this is something that I like a lot. I love this game. I love everything it tries to do. I think they did a great job with it. Obviously, I kind of wish that there's lots of annoying aspects about it. Like sometimes your characters get kidnapped and you have to go get them back. So like you always have to make more. And then, like, you have an entire team of guys that you're never going to want to use because you're just, like, you want to get your original guys back. Like, I don't know. Like, for me personally, I would have preferred... You don't really need more than 4 party members. Like, I don't understand that. Like, towards the end, it kind of leads to a really cool gimmick where you fight the final boss, and you have to have, like... you have to have all of your guys team up in like teams of 4 and go after them. Like it's cool, right? But it's I don't know. Like to get there, like there are problems with this game for sure. Like there are things they could have done to improve on this for sure. Just like they could have improved on Tomodachi Life, but the potential here is staggering. Like, if they really do continue with this series and they continue pushing it, I'm sure we haven't seen the end of Mii's. They basically become like the avatar of the Nintendo world at this point. They are iconic at this point. We are going to see more Mii games. I hope we see a Miitopia too. I hope we see more stuff like this. I hope we get a more inspired story. I hope we get more I hope we get more stuff like this because this was a lot of fun. I'm personally pushing for a Wii Sports sequel right now, but later on down the line, maybe another 5 years, like yeah, I would definitely love to see more of this.